Peace, family. What's good? It's your brother God Science, man. I'm up in here. Before I even start, I want to give a shout out to everybody out there that watches the videos, subscribe, leaving comments, chopping it up with me, disliking, liking the videos, whatever you do. Like I always say, it's a lot of channels out there for you to stop by mine. Check it out. I really appreciate that, no doubt. Now, let's get it in. I want to talk about something that we was actually talking about earlier, me and a couple brothers, and it's about the disrespect that's going on with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Alright? Now, before I even start, I just want to say this. Like I say again, I'm not a Muslim. I'm not part of the F.O.I, so I'm not being biased or anything like that. Yes, my foundation is the nation of gods and earths. That's where I came through. That's what woke me up to consciousness. So I'll always have a line of respect and love for that community. And I know if it wasn't for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the nation of gods and earths wouldn't exist, period. So technically, he's like us, my spiritual father. Now, when it comes to Minister Louis Farrakhan, I don't agree with everything this man does, but I think he deserves more respect than I'm seeing on YouTube, period. You have brothers like Hassan Campbell coming out. You have brothers like Young Pharaoh, and even though I agree with a lot of stuff that Young Pharaoh teaches, when it comes to disrespecting Minister Farrakhan and talking about he killed Malcolm X and all this shit, it gets crazy because for one, none of us was there. None of us was there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we all have our beliefs. We don't know. We wish it didn't happen. But the divide between the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X was very, sad. I wish that never happened. If that never happened, imagine. You know what I'm saying? Imagine what Malcolm X would have accomplished. But I never believed that Honorable Elijah Muhammad ordered that hit. Alright, we know who was behind Malcolm X's death. A lot of people always seem to forget that shit. COINTELPRO, you ever heard of that? Now, we know there was brothers that was involved in it, but y'all wasn't there. Y'all don't know. Y'all didn't have no proof. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came out and said that he added to that atmosphere by speaking against him because he was going against his teacher, the one that saved his life. That his spiritual father, you know what I'm saying? We will all protect. If I got on here and started speaking, talking some shit about Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark, there will be some brothers out there that's gonna come for my head and step up and be like, yo, you can't talk. Or Noble Drew Ali, even though I might not be a more or agree with the shit, I'm not gonna disrespect them because these brothers used what they could at the time when they did to try to do something positive for our community. Regardless if you agree with the way they did it, they could have been worse. They could have been doing something worse. What they were trying to do, uplift the people. They used what they had. I look at the same way as Minister Louis Farrakhan. Alright? Now, a lot of y'all won't know shit about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad if it wasn't for Minister Louis Farrakhan. I've heard brothers like Muhammad Temple number 15. We all know about this brother, and all of a sudden his name has slipped my mind. You believe that shit? But we know that this temple, there seems to be some divide in the Nation of Islam where there's some people that follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and believe that he has no successor and that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is their leader. Then you have some people that follow Minister Louis Farrakhan and believe that he is carrying on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's brother Eric Muhammad. That's his name. We all know this brother to be going at Minister Farrakhan all the time. Now, like I said, do I agree with every move that he does? No, but he was here fighting for us when nobody else was. When Minister Farrakhan first rose, especially in the 80s, the late 80s, hearing him in Public Enemy songs and shit like that in hip-hop, a lot of brand Nubians, a lot of people were taking quotes from Minister Farrakhan and putting it in hip-hop music. And a lot of people came to the nation through there, to the nation of gods and earths from like that. So who else was around that was standing up for inequality for all people that's going through injustice? It was him. Now, to be honest, has some of his teachings differ a little from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Of course, but what do you expect? He's growing older, he's growing wiser, he's doing what he thinks is right. You know what I'm saying? We might not agree with it, but as he grows, those lessons, it could be an argument. People say, leave him how it is. But as time goes, I understand if somebody says, all right, we have to not change him, but add to him. Or if, the whole point of what I'm trying to say is a lot of people will point to Scientology and be like, he's a Scientologist. But I always say, what if his intentions was really to use that technology to get into our heads and try to, because it's a lot of trauma there. It's a lot of trauma there. I mean, this is going back fucking decades, centuries. So I get it. Now, even if I don't fully agree with it, I understand his intentions might be in a good place. But all the disrespect, I mean, this man was doing this shit before some of y'all was even fucking born, man. And for y'all to be opening up your mouths now and disrespecting him like that, it's sad. And it's dangerous, I think. Because when you start getting people, especially his own people, against him like that, what if they try to do something to him? It'd be a perfect climate, having other people and he's standing up for y'all. You don't have to agree. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I'm just going to be honest. I take offense when I hear people go against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because I just don't see how. The only fucking clue, every time I talk to somebody, when that topic comes up, they always bring up Malcolm X and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they believe, and if somebody did that on purpose, they did a good job of it, because a lot of people believe that Honorable Elijah Muhammad killed Malcolm X, and that's what separates them from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Black History Month, things like that, you don't hear people talking about Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They will talk about his students. They'll talk about all the people that he made. Malcolm X, people will shoot down Honorable Elijah Muhammad and lift up Malcolm X, and to me that's crazy. I'm like, hold up, how the hell are you gonna do that? And especially they will shoot down Master F.O.I Muhammad and raise up Eli. I was like, you can't do that, because if it wasn't for one, it won't be the other. Now, a lot of people will talk about, to end it, I don't want to keep going on too long. A lot of people will talk about, hey, you know what I'm saying? That was a white man. He was a white Jew and this and that. I say, let's just say he was. Let's just say Master F.O.I Muhammad was. Those teachings have something in it, because I've seen it with my own eyes, and experience tells it all. Now, it might not touch everybody, but I've seen those lessons change people's lives for the better, become better fathers, better husbands, better people in the community, just a better fucking human being with dignity, discipline. I've seen that shit come from those lessons. So you can't stand here and tell me, I mean, who the hell else was teaching that the white man was the devil? And now, I'm not saying that I believe anybody could be a devil. I look at the devil as an ego. The ego is the devil to me. That's just me. I have my differences, different beliefs. You know what I'm saying? But who was teaching that at that time? Who was teaching us the weight of the planet and, taking our minds to another level, higher level? Intelligence. Who was bringing all that shit like that? Nobody brought it powerfuler than Honorable Elijah Muhammad, man. And for people out here, that ain't doing shit, you know what I'm saying? They shouldn't even mention this man's name in his mouth. You can't even have half the discipline that he has. So if you don't have, it's like the old saying, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people's lives was touched and changed by these men. Now, like I will always, like I say, we might not agree with everything that Minister Farrakhan does, but a lot of us won't be where we are today. A lot of us won't be so-called conscious or spiritual if it wasn't for those teachings on them fucking video cassettes. When he was standing there in that suit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the old Minister Farrakhan that was on fire. Like when you heard him, regardless, you can't tell me your ears didn't perk up and like, who the hell is that? He had that. He still does. But back then he was more fiery. You know what I'm saying? And when you heard him speak, you're like, wow, yo, who's this? He's speaking some real shit. You might not agree with the ideology that Allah came in the person of Master F.O.I Muhammad. That's all good. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I technically don't believe that. I look at God as being infinity. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, God coming in the person of Master F.O.I Muhammad, I never really understood what they were saying. It was he God. I believe that he was something of a prophet, divine intervention, if you want to call it that. I think he was a part of that, because what he brought took us up. I look at it like this, and let me end it here. The way I look at Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, these teachings, when it first came out, it was like basically black people was in a bed. All right, we're in bed and we deep asleep. We in bed. You know when you're in bed sometimes and you fall asleep and you in that deep sleep and you just sleeping your ass off, and like someone just comes up to you and shakes your ass and you go and you wake up. That's how I look at Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his teachings. That's before you even get out of bed and start walking and going on to other things. Now, some people might disagree with me, especially Muslims will disagree with me here. Like, they ain't no other things, you know. They're Muslims. I have a different perspective. For me, that was the beginning of my journey. He shook the shit out of me. And I woke up. And of course, yes, I've moved on. I have different beliefs and, other things that I know, but it's always a gratitude and a respect. Because if it wasn't for him, it's just like your mom. If your mom didn't have you, your ass won't be here. So it's a certain type of respect for him. And for people to be talking all this shit, especially not in front of fucking F.O.Is, because they ain't gonna fucking play that shit. You gonna do it far away, because those Muslims don't play. Alright? Those Muslims don't play. You know that. But anyway, like I said, we don't have to agree with Mr. Honorable Louis Farrakhan, but I just think he deserves a little bit more respect from us. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about it? I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. That's just my stance on it, because I've had a good interactions with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching. It's taught me some discipline in my life. I don't, like I said, I'm not a Muslim. I don't, a lot of things I disagree with now, but the foundation of those things is some things that I would take forever through my life from what I've learned from him. You know what I'm saying? And the so-called white man, Jew, Master F.O.I Muhammad, like y'all like to call. But those teachings took a lot of people off of drugs and changed their lives and made them better men and women. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, subscribing. Tell me what y'all think about it. Do you think Minister Farrakhan deserves more respect than what he's getting? Or are y'all disappointed in his leadership or whatever? Y'all leave a comment, man. And I'm out. Thank you guys for watching, subscribing. Appreciate it. Peace.